Glamour on wheels, inside the golden age of 1930s luxury cars. 1. 1934 Packard Super 8. The 1934 Packard Super 8 didn't just symbolize wealth. It symbolized survival itself. Because those who drove Packards during the Great Depression weren't just buying a luxury car, they were demonstrating that even in the darkest times, excellence still had a place.
The streets of America in the early 1930s felt heavy.
Businesses were closing. Families were struggling. But Packard stood tall, refusing to compromise its craftsmanship. The Super 8 arrived as a statement. Even in chaos, beauty could still be built. And Packard didn't build beauty accidentally. They built it deliberately. That long, elegantly stretched hood was more than a design choice. It was a signature of confidence. Beneath it sat an inline-8 engine meticulously engineered for smoothness. Not harsh, not aggressive, just refined power delivered like a steady whisper. Owners would often say that the engine felt like it was turning silk instead of steel. There was no vibration, no strain, nothing rushed. It was mechanical poetry. The coachwork on the 1934 model year was among the finest Packard ever created. Craftsmen shaped metal with patience, with intention, with hands trained not just to build cars but to sculpt them. The doors shut with a muted, precise thump, nothing loose, nothing uncertain. Every chrome detail was polished to reflect not only the light, but the pride of the workers who crafted it. Inside, the Super 8 felt like a private sanctuary. Seats wrapped in premium leather that softened over the years. Wood trim polished to a mirror finish. Gauges that glowed gently like fine instruments on a yacht. It wasn't just a mode of travel, it was an environment designed to elevate your sense of self. You didn't sit in a Packard, you arrived in one. Even the slogan, "Ask the man who owns one," became iconic. And if you did ask, the response was always the same. Packard represented reliability and dignity. It was the car of judges, business leaders, and people who valued quiet authority. Its style was never loud but always commanding. Today, the 1934 Packard Super 8 is cherished for its balance, proportionally perfect, mechanically advanced, emotionally resonant. It captures a moment in history when luxury stood not as an escape from hardship, but as a reminder that human craftsmanship could outshine even the bleakest times. It remains one of the finest examples of American automotive excellence ever built. 2. 1931 Minerva AL. The 1931 Minerva AL represents a type of luxury that feels almost forgotten today, subtle, effortless, and deeply refined. Minerva, a Belgian manufacturer, wasn't interested in flashy designs or overwhelming displays of wealth. Instead, they pursued quiet perfection. Their philosophy wasn't to shout for attention. It was to look so composed that attention naturally followed. At the heart of the Minerva AL was its legendary Knight sleeve valve engine. Unlike traditional engines, the sleeve valve design eliminated noisy valve movement. Starting a Minerva didn't produce the usual mechanical chatter. Instead, the engine awakened with a soft, velvety hum. It was the automotive equivalent of a whisper in a cathedral, gentle, dignified, and unmistakably high class. This quietness wasn't simply a technical feat. It was an experience. Driving a Minerva meant gliding through the world with an almost regal separation from noise and disturbance. The engine didn't demand, it escorted. The bodies were crafted by Europe's finest coach builders, and no two Minervas looked exactly the same. Buyers could choose long flowing fenders that mirrored the style of aristocratic touring cars, or they could opt for more compact yet still elegant designs. Minerva didn't mass-produce luxury, it tailored it. Step inside a Minerva and you would feel as if you had entered a handcrafted study reserved for European nobility.
Soft fabrics, rich woods, and quiet elegance defined the cabin.
Even the smallest details, like the motion of a window crank or the click of a latch, were engineered to feel dignified. Minerva attracted royalty, diplomats, powerful industrialists, and celebrities who valued discretion. To drive a Minerva wasn't to flaunt wealth, it was to display taste. The car's presence hinted at intelligence, refinement, and confidence without needing to say a word. Today, surviving Minerva ALs are extraordinarily rare, making them prized treasures in private collections. Not because they are loud or extravagant, but because they represent a style of luxury the world no longer builds, a luxury rooted in quiet mastery. 3. 1930 Cadillac V16. When Cadillac introduced the V16, it wasn't just launching a new model. It was rewriting what luxury meant. The announcement alone sent shockwaves across the automotive world. A 16-cylinder engine, at a time when most families couldn't afford gas, Cadillac unveiled a machine so ambitious it bordered on impossible. The V16 engine was engineering brilliance, smooth beyond belief, powerful without being aggressive, and quiet enough to surprise those who expected a monster under the hood. But this engine wasn't loud. Instead, it moved with the deep confidence of a giant who has nothing to prove. Hollywood noticed immediately. Stars like Clark Gable and Edward G. Robinson ordered custom V16s. Gangsters, business tycoons, and celebrities all saw the same thing. The Cadillac V16 was not just transportation, it was immortality on wheels. Each car was custom-built. Buyers sat with coach builders from Fleetwood or Fisher and designed everything from the roofline to the interior layout. Some chose flamboyant curves, others went for stately formality. No two V16s were ever completely alike. Each one reflected the personality of its owner. When you drove a Cadillac V16, you didn't just travel, you made an entrance. The long wheelbase gave it an imposing stance. The engine delivered silent waves of power. The interior, hand-selected wood, deep leather, exquisite detail, felt like the lounge of a private mansion. During a decade defined by financial crisis, Cadillac dared to dream bigger, not smaller, and the V16 became a beacon of that dream. It remains one of the greatest luxury cars ever produced, a masterpiece not because of its size or power, but because of the sheer audacity behind its creation. 4. 1933 Duesenberg Model SJ. The Duesenberg Model SJ is what happens when engineers are told, build the greatest car the world has ever seen. Cost doesn't matter. And they listened. The result was astonishing. A 320 horsepower supercharged monster in a decade when most cars struggled to reach 1/3 of that power. To drive a Duesenberg was to experience speed in a way few people of that era could even imagine. The SJ didn't accelerate, it erupted forward. Its chrome exhaust pipes became symbols of raw, unapologetic performance. Crowds gathered just to hear it start. The styling was muscular yet elegant, a blend of Art Deco sophistication with American boldness. The massive grille, sweeping fenders, and elongated proportions created an unforgettable silhouette. It wasn't delicate, it wasn't modest, it was dramatic by design. Inside, the materials rivaled luxury yachts. Polished metals, custom gauges, fine leathers, and bespoke detailing. Owners had their cars tailored to their tastes, making each SJ unique.
Kings drove Duesenbergs.
Celebrities ordered them in custom colors. Wealthy collectors lined up to buy one, not because they needed it, but because they wanted to be part of automotive legend. Even today, if you ask car historians to name the greatest American car ever built, most will simply say the Duesenberg Model SJ. It wasn't created to compete. It was created to dominate. 5. 1934 Chrysler Airflow Imperial. In a world of boxy, upright cars, the Chrysler Airflow Imperial looked like it had arrived from the year 2000. It was aerodynamic before the word aerodynamic became mainstream. Engineers tested the design in a wind tunnel, a radical idea for the time. The result was a teardrop-shaped body that sliced through air instead of pushing against it. Its structure relocated weight toward the center of the car, improving ride quality and stability. Passengers sat between the axles instead of above them, giving the airflow a smooth, almost futuristic driving feel. Inside, the cabin was spacious, wide, and airy. Chrysler wanted to make travel feel less like riding in a machine and more like relaxing in a living space. But innovation comes with risk. The airflow was so different that people weren't ready. Many customers found the shape too unusual. Dealers struggled to explain the science behind it. But over time, designers realized Chrysler had been right. The airflow became a legend, not for its sales, but for its bravery. It changed the way automakers thought about design, and its legacy is still rolling on roads around the world. 6. 1939 Bugatti Type 57C Atalanta. The Bugatti Type 57C Atalanta wasn't just a car. It was a moving sculpture. Jean Bugatti didn't design with ordinary lines. He designed with emotion. He wanted his cars to look alive, even at rest. The curves of the Atalanta are almost musical, flowing gracefully without a single harsh angle. The body seems to breathe. The stance feels poised, like a dancer ready to leap. Under its elegant exterior sits a supercharged engine engineered for speed and refinement. The 57C wasn't built for the masses. It was built for connoisseurs, for people who understood the difference between beauty and artistry. Only a small number were ever made. Each one is now a priceless treasure, preserved in private collections and museums. Driving one is described as an intimate conversation between man and machine. The Atalanta proves something rare, that a machine can truly be a masterpiece. Designed for long European journeys, it offered a blend of performance and refinement that few cars in the world could match. Its engine delivered power with the calm confidence Rolls-Royce was known for. It didn't roar. It didn't boast. It moved with grace, whispering across miles as if the road itself were smoothing out beneath it. Inside, the craftsmanship was flawless. Wood polished by hand. Leather chosen for softness and durability. Switches and instruments engineered to last a lifetime. The Phantom II Continental wasn't a car for showing off. It was a car for those who had nothing left to prove. Even today, collectors regard it as one of the finest Rolls-Royces ever built. It stands as a reminder that true luxury doesn't need to shout. It simply exists, unmistakable and serene. 8. 1937 Mercedes-Benz 540K Special Roadster. If elegance could take form in steel, it would look like the 540K Special Roadster. This car commanded attention everywhere it went, not with aggression, but with overwhelming beauty. Its proportions were majestic, a long hood stretching forward like a royal corridor, flowing fenders that framed the body like wings, and a grille so bold it became instantly recognizable. The supercharged inline-8 engine delivered impressive performance for the era. Yet it was the styling that made this car immortal. The sweeping lines, the blackout interior, the chrome blended with deep, rich paint. It was automotive theater. Celebrities and diplomats competed to own one. Today, when a 540K appears at an auction, the room goes quiet. People don't bid immediately, they admire. Because some cars aren't just valuable, they're legendary. French designers Figoni et Falaschi created bodies that resembled flowing liquid. Their designs were bold, curved fenders, dramatic tails, and shapes that looked like they belonged in an art museum. But the 135 MS wasn't just a pretty face. It was fast. It competed in races and rallies, proving that elegance and performance could coexist. The engine delivered power with a refined growl, pushing the car across European roads with confidence. Collectors call these cars rolling sculptures because standing still, they look like they're moving. Seeing one pass is an emotional experience, one that reminds people that cars can be art. Before the Zephyr, most cars were upright and boxy. The Zephyr broke tradition with curves that blended seamlessly into each other. Its aerodynamics weren't just design, they were function. The car felt quieter, smoother, and more composed than many of its competitors. And the V12 engine provided refined power, pushing the Zephyr into the future while others stayed in the past. It became one of the most influential American cars of the decade, showing that luxury didn't have to follow old rules. It could lead. It could transform. The Zephyr was more than a car. It was a promise of what luxury transportation could become. Thank you for watching. Subscribe the channel for more interesting videos.